This mod will make your RAM faster than a Hellcat. Even if you got a crew cab RAM, I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly what you got to do. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Gotta fix my glasses, a little bit twisted up. Happy Monday. So most people want to know the answer to how you can really, this one mod, well, I wouldn't say one, but there's multiple mod you could do to your RAM. It doesn't matter if you have a crew cab, single cab even better, that you could do right now to your RAM to definitely be able to make some crazy power. You will most definitely, if you do this mod to your truck, I pretty much can guarantee that you will definitely make a lot of power, more than a Scat Pack and more than a Hellcat. Most definitely you'll be able to beat a Hellcat. I all know for a fact that the standard Hellcat definitely makes 17, somewhere around there to like 800 horsepower. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys top 3 things you need to be, 3 mods that you could do to be able to beat a Hellcat or a Scat Pack, whatever fast car. This mod, I'm telling you, it's definitely not cheap. So you got to understand, when it comes to high performance stuff, it does cost some money. This is not just something I'm telling you, quick little bolt on stuff you could do to your truck and you'll make all this power. But this is definitely something that you definitely need to find a good shop. And also you need to do your research and get the right high quality parts for your RAM to definitely make easily over 1,000 horsepower. So this is I'm gonna go in order, so you want to stay tuned. At the end, I'm going to be telling you guys the first thing I would do to definitely make your RAM crazy fast, make 1,000 wheels or even over that. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 3 things you're definitely going to need. So the number 1 thing you obviously definitely need, you don't need your 5.7 Hemi block, this and that. It is, don't get me wrong, the 5.7 Hemi block, I personally think it's not going to be able to make that much power gap a Scat Pack, meaning that a standard Scat Pack that makes 717 horsepower, or probably a little bit over that. So number 1, you definitely got to get rid of your 5.7 block that comes in these trucks. Definitely need to remove that. And number 2, you got to look into getting a custom built 6.4 block. That's the key, the number 1 key right there. You need a 6.4, not a 5.7, a 6.4 block. Once you get rid of your 5.7 Hemi motor, then number 2, you definitely gotta find like a good place that able to, you know, do all in one for you. Get you a block that's, you know, fully forged and stuff like that, to definitely be able to make a good power. So third thing is you definitely would need like a Whipple supercharger off the rip. If you're gonna go with a 6.4 block, it is the same block. There's really no difference. It's the same block that bolt right on into the Scat Packs. But I believe the Hellcats, it might be a little bit more complicated. But this 6.4 block is the same exact block that the Scat Packs have. The only difference is it's just gonna be going into a Dodge Ram, and this should definitely increase your chance. So you want to get a 6.4 fully forged. At least that's what I would do. In and out block, and definitely get that once. That's your number 1 thing. And the price for that, obviously, I'm gonna give you guys a price. All of this stuff I'm telling you guys right now. Don't come here thinking that you can make over 1,000 horsepower and try to spend like 5K. You're definitely gonna be spending over at least like 10K. I would personally say you wouldn't probably spend, if your budget is like 20-ish around there, I'll say you probably wouldn't spend more than 20 grand. So it all depends too. The most expensive thing that is the key for you to make more power than a Hellcat is that 6.4 fully forged block that you could definitely, if you don't have a place you can get it from, you definitely check out HHP. That's their name. They definitely, I know for a fact, they definitely, you know, could get you could get a block from there fully forged and you're gonna probably be spending probably close to like 7 grand. That's the most expensive thing right there, and the key is the block. So number three is obviously when you when you get your block, you get your Whipple supercharger. Probably your Whipple supercharger will be probably, you don't have to get a Whipple supercharger, but that will even help you make way more power. So that's not really necessary, but for me, yes, I'll get a Whipple supercharger, and that 6.4 fully forged block definitely is going to be capable of making over at least like 1,000 horsepower, or probably a little bit more. So that alone right there, you're probably going to be spending, that's probably at least like, I say like 15 right there off the rip, if you going with the block and then you going with a supercharger. And then these are the little things that's probably going to be under at least 4 grand that you could do. Once you get, it's definitely necessary and you have to do it, is you have to get some springs, you have to get some retainer, you got to get custom grid cam. I will at least do that. Push rods, stock 6.4 heads. I believe that's definitely necessary, and I believe that's about like probably at least, everything add up, it's gonna be about at least like 7, well I wouldn't say 7, but at least like 2-3 grand right there, easy. There's a lot of ways about going about it. Like I said, the block is the most expensive thing. If you can get yourself the block, there you go, that's the key right there. And obviously these trucks, I know the 8-speed transmission that's in these trucks is definitely solid, but it's not solid to make over, I think over probably 5-6, somewhere around there, 5 or 600 horsepower, I believe. So you probably could keep your stock transmission, but you're just gonna have to get it like rebuilt to where it could be able to hold at least over 1,000 horsepower. And another thing to consider is your rear diff. You're probably gonna have to change up some stuff too on there, but this is your number one key to being able to definitely make 1,000 horsepower, even if you got a crew cab ram. There's a guy on YouTube that I watch his page too. I'm a fan of his channel. His name is Incredible Hemi. He did that pretty much. He broke it down the same way, almost like the same way I did. And it's not like, people make it seem like it's complicated, but it's not as complicated. It's not complicated like you trying to put a Hellcat motor inside of a Ram. It have been done before, but I'm not saying that the Scat Pack motors is a lot harder for you to do. This, all this stuff is all because you got to think this Dodge, they all Dodge vehicles, but these things should be able to bolt. Some of these things will be able to bolt right on. You don't got to change any harness, none of that stuff. So that's an easy way right there. Going to be a little bit pricey, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So if you definitely if you still watching right now, I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, if you are watching, coming to the end. So the key is, what I personally would do is definitely get the block first, and you don't have to go with a supercharger, but get yourself a nice block, and then you got to be prepared for it. If you're doing this because your truck can easily, with this block being, I know for a fact, with a block being a 6.4 block, fully forged in and out, you could easily make over at least 1,000 horsepower, even if you got a crew cab ram. Just like my truck right now. And the guy, Incredible Hemi, on YouTube, he has a crew cab ram just like me, and his truck is fully capable of making it over at least, or probably is right now. So these are your key to making your Ram a lot more powerful than a Scat Pack, a Hellcat, whatever. And the key thing is, I want to share with you guys is, if you do this, and like, you gotta understand how cool this would be to think. Most people, you could daily drive your truck, even if you're making like, I say 600-700, it's a lot, but you could daily drive your truck, but a lot of people wouldn't know what's really under the hood. They would just think that it's a 5.7 Hemi motor and some cam and stuff like that. That's one thing that's pretty cool about this build. These things I just named to you, and it's pretty unique, and you wouldn't really expect that from a Ram truck. most of the time you expect it probably from like a car like a Scat Pack or a Charger, stuff like that. But it's not something that's too common. But definitely drop your thoughts down though on, do you think this really something that is worth it, or you might as well just go out there and go spend probably it's most definitely a bill that's underneath, that's not going to be like 40,000, 50,000 plus. You got to think though, do you think it's worth it to spend this much money, probably 20K ish, close to like 30 grand? But I don't see that being that much. 20K, I say, yeah, it could be done. Better than you going out trying to purchase a car that's pretty much already making that power. You're probably gonna be spending way more than that. But those are my top 3 things to be able to tell you how to be able to get your Ram faster than a Hellcat. So if you a Mopar guy, you like the Hemi Rams, this is a Ram channel, so definitely feel free to go check out all my other uploads. I upload every day consistently, and you need to go check it out right now. Let's go.